marketing to business development, regulatory compliance, legal, I mean, across the board. We're looking for people who are strong in areas where we're not strong. We're not looking for people who are clones of people that we already have. And we're looking for people who are excited to work on interesting problems.
Yeah, I think one thing that I would highlight is sort of a love for payments. So we have a set of company values, and one of them we call Live It, which is we want people to have a certain passion about what they're working on. And so, if you have had personal experiences with payments friction, maybe you've moved to a different country and it was very difficult to get set up, or maybe you've tried to start a business and run a small business that's interacting globally, and some of the pain points there, that definitely helps, because it kind of keeps you motivated and it keeps you empathizing with our customers, which is really helpful.
Okay, thank you. Could I ask a second question about Japan payments specifically? There doesn't seem to be a winning payment service in Japan. A lot of people are paying with their subway cards in convenience stores. People are paying with credit cards on different websites, but no one's winning. From your perspective, do you see a reason why Japan hasn't got a winning payment system? And do you have any thoughts about what could be different about this market than the other markets you've looked at?
So, obviously I'm not an expert on Japanese culture, but from what I understand, it's a very cash-driven culture. I've heard stories all the way to people keeping bundle of cash in their fridge as a way to save. And so as a German, we're also a very cash-based culture, so I can somewhat understand that. And I think part of what's been the issue is that the domestic settlement systems, Sengen and others, are not actually incredibly efficient and well suited for sort of retail payments. And so whereas in some other countries like the UK, for example, with the Faster Payments Initiative, and China, where a lot of mobile money is already very successful, there hasn't been a really good solution that integrates with where people are actually holding their money, which is in the banks. And kind of your day-to-day retail payments experience. And I think that there is an opportunity to build something like that. We've recently taken a first step towards that with an app called MoneyTap. So this is an app that's been released by the Japanese banking consortium, over 60 banks here in Japan, that is adopting Ripple technology. And the app it changes the user experience for domestic bank-to-bank payments in Japan. So today, if you make a domestic wire, you have to kind of enter the bank, the recipient information. You have to get the right kanji and everything. And so if you're a foreigner, if you're a foreign business person, it's kind of difficult to get that right. And so with MoneyTap, you can actually put in a phone number, or you can scan a QR code, and it automatically figures out all the right bank details. And so far, it's just a beta. It's just being trialed right now. But I could totally see that sort of application, helping to change Japan and move it more towards a cashless society in the future.
I think one interesting difference in Ripple's approach to other companies is that we kind of took a bottom-up approach compared to other fintech companies. Most fintech companies are working at the very top layers where the systems are interfacing with the users. They're like new wallets or new ways to hold money. We're kind of working the opposite way, from the bottom up, working on a new way to actually move money at the lowest layers. And I think what you're going to start to see happening is that as those bottom layers become more capable, that functionality will start to get pushed to the top. The challenge that you face today when you try to build new customer-facing top layers is you're building on top of existing infrastructure that was designed with completely different use cases in mind. So I'm optimistic that better solutions will appear in the future as those lower level systems improve, as they become more capable of faster payments, as they have lower cost, as the pools of liquidity become